Hello, and welcome to Instant Insights, a global data strategic intelligence. We track over 100 tech, industry, ESG, and macro themes impacting all major sectors. I'm Martina Raveni, and today I'm joined by Adrian Barker, the Key Account Director at EkkoSense, a data center optimization software provider. Hi, Adrian, how are you?
Hi, Martina. Very well, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks very much for being here. We met at the tech show, which took place in London this March, and we had a chat on the main challenges and development of data centers. And that's exactly what I would like to talk about with you today. Are you happy with that?
Yes, of course. Go ahead.
We can start talking about the challenges. Data centers face increasing pressure to improve energy efficiency due to both the operational costs, but also the government legislation. As if you could outline us what are the biggest challenges faced by data centers to achieve energy efficiency.
Sure. I think that there's a couple of challenges at the moment. Obviously, energy efficiency is a big one. Energy costs are rising. A couple of years ago, they peaked quite substantially, which caused data center operators a real challenge. And both for operators and their clients, sustainability goals are becoming more important in the corporate environment. We have things like the European Energy Directive and the CSRD that are starting to put legislation behind that. So these operators and their clients are being forced by government legislation to actually improve their energy efficiencies. At the same time, the rise of AI and GPU-based deployments is really pushing the power demands on all data centers. All new builds, which typically will be built with a power usage effectiveness, a PUE, that meets forthcoming legislation. All their space is being swallowed up by AI and GPU deployments. So they're kind of okay. I think the big challenge lies with existing data center operators, where they're likely to need to spend significant capital to replace aging plant to enable them to be able to meet the new efficiency demands that are coming through legislation and really corporate sustainability and being a good citizen. So that's one of the big significant challenges. And I think understanding where that spend needs to be made. So data centers, it may be a new UPS string, it may be new chillers, new cooling units, new CRAs. So having the ability to be able to understand where the best place to make that investment is going to be really, really important for data centers that are looking to drive efficiency, but also make sure they've got the right space to bring clients on board.
Do you think that the PUE 1.3 or lower by 2030 is going to be achievable or is going to be quite difficult to achieve?
I think on a whole, it will be achievable. There are some sites that we're working with our clients on where we're helping them understand whether they can achieve that or not. So there will be some data center stock that even with, I guess, as much improvement as you can put into it, PUE of 1.3 is going to be very challenging to achieve. There are some legacy data centers out there that were really office buildings. They weren't ever built as data centers. During the big boom a number of years ago, these offices were converted into data centers. I think they're going to present quite a challenge. But EkkoSense has solutions that enable us to take, I guess, a 30,000 foot view of a data center and understand from the initial electrical input from the generators all the way through to final heat rejection, how that data center is functioning and what aspects of that data center are potentially causing challenges with the PUE. So can we replace those? What should we replace those with? When do we replace those? And helping data center providers understand what they need to spend and when they need to spend it to achieve compliance with the legislation that's coming, PUE of 1.3 by 2030, and also making sure they're doing the right things for their customers. That's going to be absolutely critical to help data centers both manage efficiency and space.
Absolutely. And this links well with my next question for you. We also discussed when we met about another big challenge, which is the cooling of data centers,
Yep,
because we know that there are growing concerns about first water usage because companies, but especially big tech, with the advent of generative AI, are increasing a lot their water usage to cool down the AI-powered data centers. And connected to this, the cooling systems are expensive in terms of cost, but also in terms of energy requirements. If you can tell us more about this challenge and how can EkkoSense support liquid cooling or other types of cooling within data center facilities?
sure. Obviously, it's a massive challenge. We're starting to see clients that maybe were running 8 megawatt halls are now looking to move into a 48 megawatt space. So it's quite a step change, almost an order of magnitude change in terms of power consumption. You've got to cool that down. Now, liquid cooling is here. It's kind of been emerging for the last few years. It's really starting to come into the data center space now. And it's the only way to support these high kilowatt loads. That you cannot cool some of these racks with normal air cooling. If you take, for example, the new NVIDIA GB200 deployment of racks, you're looking at 130 kilowatts a rack. So that has to be liquid cooled. It's the only way forward. Um, at EkkoSense, we've got the tool set ready to support both the design side of that because I think we're going to go through a transition period where we move away from air cooling into a hybrid cooling environment where you have some air, some liquid as companies make a transition into higher density racks. So we have the ability to help organizations determine what that split's going to be and how that's developed in the data center. But also understanding how the liquid cooling systems are working. Are they working efficiently? Are they working with the air side cooling? So we have all those aspects built into the software already. We're ready to support things like rear door cooling as that continues, direct to chip cooling, which we think is going to be the way forward. And certainly the CDUs that are then driving all of that, understanding the supply and the flow of the cooling into those environments is going to be really, really important. One thing we're working on actually is Telehouse, who have been a customer of ours for about 5 years, are innovating, and they're setting up a liquid cooling lab at one of their London sites. So they're bringing all the aspects of technology in, so clients can start understanding and seeing what technology is going to be right for them. And we're supporting them with the EkkoSoft package so that you can visualize both the liquid and airside cooling at the same time. So it's definitely here. Clients we're working with now are looking at these direct chip cooling methodologies. It's the only way forward with the AI and GPU deployments that are going into place.
Using your software, when you showed it to me, it's literally visualization of the data center itself. You use a digital twin, right?
That's right. So full visualization. Obviously, we've come from an air-cooled environment. Now we're moving into this hybrid environment. So one of the biggest challenges is going to be visualizing air side and liquid at the same time. You've got very different delta T's across both of those environments. If you were to focus on one, then the other one would look really bad. So being able to visualize both at the same time, and even the liquid cooled racks tend to have about a 10 to 15% impact on the air cooling within the space as well. So that needs to be taken into consideration. Not all the cooling is locked into the liquid. There's some sharing of that. So being able to visualize changes and performance, whether it's good or bad, whether you're over or under cooling on those systems, is going to be really important. That's something that in EkkoSoft we've been really good at getting that nailed down. So you can visualize both environments in this hybrid state that we're in at the moment at the same time.
I have a final question for you. If we think about how AI is becoming increasingly integrated into data center operations, there is a growing perception that AI can, in a way, autonomously manage complex systems, the one you mentioned, like cooling, energy optimization, but all the processes that are going on within a data center facility. can AI fully manage data center processes, or is human supervision still an integral part of the process? And if so, how can we reach a balance between automation and human oversight to maintain this efficiency but also safety?
Sure. Okay, that's a really good question. I think AI has the potential to automate DC cooling and optimization, but I still think there will be human insight required to ensure that the AI doesn't kind of take a path into an issue. Um, Obviously, AI is only good as the model that it's trained on. And if you think about what's going on in these data centers and the sort of services that they're delivering, I don't think anyone's going to take their hands off the wheel and allow AI to take full control of the cooling systems and the optimization of these. At EkkoSense, we use both AI and machine learning, but we use that to provide insight and advisory data. And that allows DC teams to then run more efficiently and better understand the critical environments that they manage. So, kind of that hybrid approach that you mentioned in the last point of your question is yes, AI and machine learning are going to be absolutely important in helping data centers be as efficient as possible, do the right things at the right times, adapt and adjust to AI and GPU loads, which are going to be driving a lot of data centers going forward. But at the same time, empowering the teams to better understand the environments, those critical spaces that they're managing, to be as efficient as possible without that risk of AI going off into a corner somewhere and causing a potential issue or an outage.
Thank you very much, Adrian, for those instant insights.
Thanks, Mark. I appreciate it.
Thanks all for listening, and from us in Strategic Intelligence, see you next time.